What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video, we finally have the fully boosted list for the upcoming treasure map against Shanks and Ben Beckman. So, of course, we have another one of these preparation videos to go through today, and of course we will be going through the new character themselves with the dual unit Shanks and Ben Beckman, but we'll also go through each of the mini bosses and also some recommended free-to-play options and just some other recommended characters that are really good against each of these bosses here. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video today, and if you guys do, make sure to smack the like button down below, as these videos take a long time to put together. But other than that, let's get straight into the video. So first of all, let's get into talking about Shanks and Ben Beckman. So this character is either an int or a dex character, Shanks being int, Ben Beckman being a dex character, and this character with their full limit break at max level, 3315 HP, 1674 attack, and 412 recovery. So across the board, amazing stats. Obviously, as a treasure map character, he has 60 cost, and with full limit break, he has 5 socket spots. Now, each of the characters with Ben Beckman and Shanks, obviously they have a different captain ability. Shanks, being the first character out, will boost int character's attack by 3 times, and all other characters will get 2 times attack. And then conversely, with Ben Beckman, it's the exact same, except he will boost dex character's attack by 3 times, and then all other types by 2 times. So honestly, a pretty good regular captain effect, honestly. The fact that you can switch between dex and int boosting 3 times is really good. And then now moving on to when they actually combine into their dual form, they are a 3.75 times attack boost to dex and int, and then all other types will get 2.5 times attack. Honestly, again, just a great captain ability overall, and can be used in a lot of different situations. Now, their special ability is extremely unique in what they can provide. So maxing out at 13 turns with max level and also limit break, of course, but they will change all of your crew slots, including block, into empty, which is very odd. And then there's going to give your crew a 3 times color affinity and a 3 times chain lock for 1 turn. So that is absurdly powerful, getting a 3 times color affinity with that chain lock. Like, the amount of damage you can get from that is crazy. But here is where things go sort of downhill. The fact that there is a little blurb right at the bottom of the special which says that this is the only special that can be activated during this turn. So what happens is if you use another special and then try to activate this special, it won't work. And if you use this special and try to activate another special, it will not work. This is the only special ability that you can use during the run or during the turn that you activate it. So it's really annoying, because you'll get these boosts, but you have empty orbs and there's not much you can really do with it. But the great thing about it is that you can still use switch effects from dual units, and also support abilities will also still be active. So utilizing those type of abilities, you'll be able to get the most out of this new dual unit Shanks and Ben Beckman. Also, something that we need to talk about is their switching effect. So every time you switch between Ben Beckman and Shanks, they're going to reduce bind, despair, and paralysis by 1 turn on your entire team, which is fantastic. Absolutely phenomenal switch effect. Now, unfortunately, the character doesn't give themselves a matching orb, but still, the utility you get from it is definitely going to help out in a lot of pieces of content. And now moving on to the first of these battles that we're going to be talking about, the first being the Intrusion Battle. This is actually a treasure map that was built to have an Intrusion Battle on it, not like some of Global's previous treasure maps where they kind of just injected an Intrusion Battle for no reason, which I really enjoyed, by the way. But just talking about this particular Intrusion Battle, it is against the treasure map unit in Shanks and Ben Beckman. Now, it's only a 3-stage fight like all other intrusions, and on stage 2, you're going to encounter Yasop, who starts off with a very low HP of 100,000, but you'll see that obviously he actually does stack up as time goes on, and his preemptive attack will give the enemy side of the field a 1.5 times attack boost for 3 turns, but that's it. Like, that's all you really have to worry about. The thing is when you actually kill off Yasop, he will revive, and he always revives back to 75,000, so it won't be that big of an issue. But the thing is if he revives and, you know, it's always to 75,000, and if he's below 20%, then he's going to cut your health by 60%. So for some teams that might be an issue, but for a lot of teams it probably will not matter, that 60% health cut. And then moving on to the final boss, Shanks and Ben Beckman. They are int characters, but obviously you can see from the picture they do change into psi type characters, but they start off with 1.7 million HP, which is pretty significant for an intrusion battle. Like, that is a humongous HP threshold, and they will go ahead with their their preemptive attack give you 6 turns of bind, but only to int characters. They also apply 3 turns of paralysis, only to your captains, and also 3 turns of attack down, only to int characters. So they really don't like int characters, and as I said, they do change into psi typing from their previous int typing, and they also remove all beneficial effects, so you can't really bring a specific boost into this stage unless if it's one of those ones that depends on how many perfects that you hit. And then after the first turn of attacks, Shanks and Beckman will apply 10 turns of immunity to themselves, and also will apply 20 turns of recovery bind to your crew. And after turn 2, and then every 2 turns afterwards, they're going to remove all beneficial effects and again apply 4 turns of bind, but only to int characters, of course. Now, speaking of a recommended crew that I've built here that is obviously free-to-play centric, it is utilizing V2 Big Mom as the friend captain. Remember, this is the Intrusion Battle, so any character you use against the Intrusion fight does not have overlap with any of the other boss functions or boss teams, so you can use whatever character you want in the Shanks and Beckman fight. So with this team, we are utilizing, as I said, a friend captain V2 Big Mom, and because she requires one of every color, then the Usopp and Chopper dual unit is actually a pretty good call to run as a captain, though I'd suggest if you have your own V2 Big Mom, just to run double V2 Big Mom. It actually ends up working out significantly better. And then as for the team, we need to fulfill all of those color conditions. So we've got Strength for NL, Dex for Rayleigh, obviously Quick is the captain here with Usopp and Chopper, and Psi we've got Pika. Pika is just a filler character here, but the main important characters here are NL and Rayleigh, because both of those characters will remove the debuffs that get applied to your team on the final stage of Shanks and Beckman. And then we have Usopp and Chopper, Big Mom, and also Magellan and Hannibal to grant us massive boosts to just give us enough damage to KO Shanks and Beckman. Now below that on the bottom there you can see obviously for characters that you need to bring, you need characters to remove bind if you have int characters on your team. You need a way to remove paralysis on your captains, but if you are running double V2 Big Mom, then you actually don't need to bring a unit that removes paralysis, because with her switch effect, she completely resists it anyway, and then you do need to remove attack down. Now Edward Weevil you can actually use here. You can't use him on turn 1 though, because the enemy doesn't have an immunity buff. But remember, after the first turn, they apply immunity to themselves. So you can stall 1 turn and then use Edward Weevil to not only remove the attack down, but also give your crew a 2x attack boost. So that's another option that you can bring as well. So Intrusion Battle out of the way, now we can talk about one of the first Battle Rush bosses, which is going to be Kobe. Now, Kobe is the easiest of these fights, and one that I would not recommend, being too focused about. I would honestly, if you're building your own teams, don't focus about Kobe. Like literally you can chuck in like any units you want in this fight. It is completely easy. You can see all he has is an 8-hit combo barrier, and he only has 340,000 HP, so that means that his scaling of HP will be a lot less than the other bosses that you're going to encounter during this treasure map. So Kobe is extremely easy. That's literally all he has. Now, like in terms of units, like this is just a team that I threw together here, which is actually a pretty decently boosted team for a free-to-play team, utilizing Magellan and Hannibal as the 2 captains, because they both are 1.35 times point boosters. So that's what I would suggest here. But honestly, you can bring what you want. Like whatever you want will be fine for the Kobe fight. Moving on to Blackbeard. Now, Blackbeard is a little bit more difficult from the Kobe fight. This guy is an int character, and he starts off with 1.1 million HP, which is actually quite a lot for a regular Battle Rush boss. So his scaling will be a lot higher compared to Kobe, which only had 340,000 HP. But his preemptive attack will give himself an 8-turn immunity buff, as well as applying 7 turns of a 70% attack down to your team, and your crew slots will be shuffled to either empty or block orbs. And under 50%, he's going to go ahead and buff his own attack to 3 times for 2 turns, and he also enrages as well. So quite simply here, and as you can tell by the image, Edward Weevil is going to be your best bet here for many, many reasons. Number 1, he removes the attack down on your crew. Number 2, he's a 2x attack booster for your crew. Number 3, he's a Psi character, so he has full type advantage against Blackbeard. So I would suggest running a double Edward Weevil team. As a captain, he's actually pretty decent. As long as you're at full HP, you get a 3.25 attack boost to your slasher team. So you just run slasher characters, of course. For this particular team, if you use the Coliseum Tamago and also Raid Arlong, those 2 specials will go ahead and change empty and block orbs into matching. Arlong changes block, and Tamago changes empty orbs into matching. So that's actually a pretty good combination that you could do. That I would suggest, if you are going to use Arlong, to use the treasure map Mihawk special first because he has a higher orb boost compared to Arlong. He's a 2x orb boost and a 2.75 chain lock, so definitely use the specials in order of Mihawk first and then use the rest of your other specials. And then we've got Colosseum Brook in here just as a filler character and because he has type advantage, so it just works really, really well, and this team will work for a really long time against this boss Blackbeard. The next Battle Rush boss is going to be Kizaru. Kizaru is Dex and has 580,000 hit points at Navigation level 1. His preemptive attack will apply 19 turns of a full immunity buff to himself, and for 5 turns he's going to lower your chain coefficient reduction. And after turn 2, he's going to apply 10 turns of recovery bind to your crew and apply 3 turns of increased damage taken. And when you actually kill off Kizaru, he's going to recover up to 25% of his max HP, cuts your crew's health by 20%, applies a 99 turn end of turn damage buff, and for 4 turns, all of your type slots are going to be counted as non-matching. So that all sounds quite annoying, and it definitely is, but there is a very, very clean and simple solution for clearing this fight, and that is utilizing the new Colosseum character that came out on One Piece Treasure Cruise Global, being Doflamingo and Treble. Now, they are great for a multitude of reasons. Number one is the fact that they obviously have type advantage, with Doflamingo being a strength character, so this character is basically built for taking on Kizaru. Also, the fact that they have a special ability that provides chain lock, so you can get around the chain coefficient reduction debuff that gets put on your crew, and they have a really powerful switch effect, which states that for 1 turn, strength and dex orbs are going to be beneficial to your crew. And the really good thing about that is that if you switch and then you kill Kizaru, because you have that buff, he will not be able to apply that 4 turn negative orb enable debuff. So the way that it works is you want to switch with this character, use their special, then kill Kizaru, and then you can just go ahead and use the other special on the next turn and then just kill Kizaru. Like, it's pretty simple, utilizing Doflamingo and Treble as the captain. You don't even have to have your one maxed. It would help out a lot, but you don't even have to have your one maxed out, as long as you have a friend captain that is maxed out so you can use their special. And then just a bunch of other driven or cerebral characters is going to be helpful here. Treasure Map Cavendish will be great, of course, because he's going to be relatively high boosted, or like a 1.2 booster compared to some of the other Treasure Map characters, and also the fact that he will apply a 1.75 attack and orb boost to driven characters. So all in all, just utilizing a driven team with Dofi and Treble is your best bet for this fight. Now, the last of these Battle Rush bosses is going to be against Aokiji, but on stage 6, before you even reach Aokiji, you have to deal with Hina, Django, and Full Body as mini-boss fights. Now, they don't have that much HP, and I think they do scale with their navigation level, so you do have to take that into consideration. But their preemptive attack, they're going to lock all your orbs for 10 turns, which is not an orb bind, it is just, lock slots for 10 turns. And for 2 turns, they have Rainbow Shield % damage reduction, and they also apply a 98 turn attack and orb boost, which is only a 1% attack and orb boost, so you really don't want that. So in terms of recommended characters, definitely would suggest Garp and Sengoku here, because their special ability removes beneficial effects and then applies a big buff to fighter characters. So that's definitely going to be the best way around this particular fight. Now, once you finally kill stage 6, you're going to move on to stage 7, which is the Aokiji fight. Now, he has 660,000 HP, and also he'll have a preemptive attack of 99 turns of delay immunity, and he also will bind your right column for 5 turns, and will also apply despair to your captain only in the right column. And below 50%, Aokiji will apply 3 turns of bind to 3 random characters, and then under 20%, he does that Boa Hancock effect where all of your characters will get binded for 20 turns. So you essentially die if you get him below 20%. A very slow and painful death below 20%. Now, as I said, recommended characters here is going to be a fighter team with Garp and Sengoku as your captain. Now, also with this team, definitely that free-to-play dress-up Fortnite Sanji is really good here, because his special ability removes 2 turns of % damage reduction, which is great for stage 6. And then we've also got the Trafalgar Law Treasure Map character, who unfortunately is not a 1.2 times point booster, he's only a 1.1 times point booster, but he's really nice here because he has the special ability to remove Bind and Despair by 2 turns. So with Sockets and his special ability, you'll be able to get rid of all of the Bind and Despair when you actually counter that on stage 7. And then the rest of the characters here are just filler characters. We've got this Colosseum Flame Oven, who you don't really need on the team, but he just helps you get some more beneficial orbs for your team. And then mainly Garp and Sengoku are your heavy hitters, being having the type advantage, of course, and also having the really great special of 1.75 attack and orb boost. So really, really powerful squad. And now when we're talking about the final boss now, is going to be Akainu. Now Akainu, as I said, is the final boss, with Shanks and Beckman being the Intrusion Battle. So Akainu on stage 6 is a strength character with 400,000 HP at nav level 1. His preemptive attack is going to apply a barrier. Now it's a 3-hit attack timing barrier, so it's either a 3-hit good barrier, a great barrier, or a perfect barrier. It'll be one of those 3 randomly, and he actually changes typing from a strength character to a quick character. For 99 turns also, he's going to apply a strength orb rate increase, so you're going to be getting more strength orbs on your team, and then after he applies that, he randomizes your orbs to give you a higher chance of getting those strength orbs. And then every single turn, he's going to apply that barrier once again, just over and over again. And after turn 2, he's going to apply 5 turns of burn to your team. I'm not really too sure how significant that burn damage is, but basically you don't want to deal with that, so try and kill him on turn 1 if at all possible. And then moving on to the final boss stage now, which is stage 7. He's a strength character with 1 million HP, with a preemptive attack of applying 99 turns of delay immunity, so you can still apply poison, and you can still apply defense down, which is great to hear. And also for 2 turns, he's going to rewind your captain's special abilities, which is really annoying. I really hate special rewind, and you have to deal with it with this particular boss fight. Additionally, your captains will be slot binded for 7 turns, and your crewmates will be slot binded for 2 turns. And that's it. He just attacks every single turn, but under 20%, he's going to apply 5 turns of special rewind, and also will remove beneficial effects on your team, and then deal 1.5 million damage. So you instantly will die under 20%. So don't get him below 20% under any circumstance. Now, as for recommended characters for this fight, Luffy in Law is hands down the best character for this particular fight, as with his switch effect, he's able to remove slot bind, which is really good for the final boss fight, and also the fact that when you switch into Luffy, you'll be getting the type advantage on stage 6, and when you switch into Law, you'll get type advantage on stage 7. And another great thing as well is that when they do switch, that he will go through barriers with his normal attacks, which is perfect again for stage 6. So basically, you're trying to build a team around Luffy and Law, and honestly, if you don't have Luffy and Law, you really got to try and find friend captains here. But because Luffy and Law is the recommended captain for this fight, I really don't think it'll be too tricky to find Luffy and Law friend captains, but it's definitely the way to go, as they provide the easiest way to clear this particular fight. Now, as for the rest of the units on this team, we've got the Chopper and Carrot dual unit as the captain here, as they provide a decent boost, and they actually have a type boost effect for their special as well, which is actually going to be really, really useful, as Luffy and Law, obviously with their switch effect, apply a type boost, but with Carrot and Chopper, you can apply a type boost to your whole team, which is nice. You've also got the Raid Zoro here, which is great for color affinity, which is great on the final boss stage when you want to get even more damage output with Luffy and Law, and also because when you have Chopper out, he's classified as a cerebral character, and because Akainu can be applied with defense down, Treasure Map Sabo is perfect for this fight, because not only do you get more matching orbs if the characters get out of their slot bind, of course, but you can also get that free conditional boost, which is great. Now remember, your captains do get their specials rewind by 2 turns, so ideally you'd want to stall 1 turn and then go ahead and use your Kizaru special ability to rewind those specials forward by 1 turn. So, you know, having to use Kizaru is kind of annoying, but it's not really that big of a deal, because Luffy and Law will be able to carry through this boss fight very, very easily. And with that, we've actually gone through all of the bosses now for the treasure map Shanks and Beckman, but just to give you guys a quick rundown once again of all of these free-to-play teams here. Against Kobe, literally run whatever you want. It's completely easy to take down. Against Blackbeard, definitely Edward Weevil is going to be great, and then finding some character to change empty and block orbs into matching is going to help you out a lot. Against Kizaru, Doflamingo and Treble dual unit is going to be useful here with their switch effect, their special ability, just everything about them. They're just perfect for taking down the Kizaru boss fight. Against Aokiji, definitely the dual unit Sengoku and Garp are once again going to be useful for this fight, and then having a unit that can remove % damage reduction on stage 6 and having a unit that can remove Bind and Despair on stage 7 again are going to help you out significantly in that fight. And then against Akainu, Luffy and Law will single-handedly take down this fight, so I would suggest running a friend captain Luffy and Law makes this fight so much easier. And then against Shanks and Beckman, that one's a little bit tricky, honestly, because there are lots of things you have to take into consideration, but V2 Big Mom is the most ideal character here, as a captain. They completely resist paralysis on themselves with their switch effect, and then having some other characters on your crew, such as NL and that Rayleigh, are really nice for removing attack down, and also the bind as well that's inflicted to your team as well. And then you've also got the dual unit Magellan and Hannibal for the color affinity boost, which is really, really nice for the V2 Big Mom, outputting a lot of damage against Shanks and Beckman. And that brings us to the end of this video, guys. I really hope this video helped you out, and if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all of the content I posted on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.